Okay, we will get started. So go ahead and have a seat on your Pilates ball. And again, you'll need a strap, a yoga strap, or whatever you're using, like a strap handy. We'll use that in just a little bit. So once you get yourself situated on your Pilates ball, make sure your feet are rooted into the earth. So you're nice and comfortable and feel stable here on top of your ball. Once you do that, go ahead and close your eyes, and we'll start with some deep breaths in and out. So breathing deeply in through the nose, fill the belly, and then exhale either through the nose or through the mouth for the first few. And a big breath in through the nose. And a long exhale. Breathing deeply in through the nose. And exhale slowly. And if you've been exhaling through the mouth, now, if possible, close the lips and continue the breath just in and out of the nose. Fully breathing in, let the belly expand, let the ribs expand. And slowly exhale. And if you're just joining us, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sitting on a Pilates ball. So go ahead and do that. Passive release of the pelvic floor as we are working on our deep breath. One more, filling up as deeply as you can. And slowly exhaling. Good. And then if your eyes are closed, just gently flutter them open. And then taking your eyes to the left, you're not turning your head, your nose will stay forward, but letting your eyes just go to the left. So this is a vagus nerve stimulation. Our vagus nerve is connected to our parasympathetic nervous system, our system of recovery, our system of relaxation, helps us get out of a flight or flight state. So keeping those eyes to the left while your nose is still pointed forward. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. And bringing your eyes back to center, take a big breath in and open your mouth, sigh it out. And closing the lips and taking your eyes to the right. The nose is forward, but the eyes are to the right. Just breathing slowly in and out of the nose. Again, a stimulation of our vagus nerve, a bundle of nerves that is connected to our parasympathetic nervous system. So tapping into relaxation, softening, healing, letting go. Eyes over to the right, the nose is forward. Just the eyes. Couple more big breaths. And bringing your eyes back to center, big breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. That can sometimes lead to an yawn. It can calm the system enough that it stimulates a little yawn. So now it's like a rainbow. You're going to bring your eyes up and around, up and down, back and forth. So we take it to the left, up towards the ceiling, over to the right, from the right, up towards the ceiling, over to the left, just slowly back and forth. Don't forget to breathe. One more time, back and forth. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes, a big belly breath, and open your mouth. Let it go. Good. And then again, fluttering your eyes open, just taking a gentle gaze. We're not looking at anything. It's just a soft gaze without letting your upper back round, bringing your chin towards your chest. And then right ear towards right shoulder. Very slowly, we lift the head up so that we're stretching the front of the neck and then bringing the ear over towards the left shoulder. So we're making very slow circles with the neck. So what we want to avoid, and why I said lifting the head up, we want to avoid when we go back, just dumping back. We lift from the front of the neck. Keep the mouth closed so that you're stretching all the way to where the neck connects to the jaw. I'm going to stop talking now so I can keep my mouth closed as well while I do this. And then we go the other way. Slow, intentional circles. One more time. Good. And then pausing at center. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and pick up that strap. So if you have a really long strap, you'll want to fold it in half. If it's not that long, then you probably won't. So from here, you're going to take the strap shoulder width or maybe a little wider. And whatever your range is your range. If you can bring those arms all the way back behind you, fine. If not, that's also fine. And then we bring it all the way forward in front. So again, you might need to adjust how wide you're holding the strap. Maybe you have it more all the way out here. Maybe you have it narrower. So you find the range that's working for you. The idea is to get some movement in the shoulders. So nice and slow. And again, if your range makes it so that you can't go past this point, that's fine. Maybe the next time you're able to go slightly farther. You find your range that's okay. What I don't want to see is a struggle to get it back there. Okay. So it's whatever your range is, then you pause and then you bring it back. And that's going to look different for every one of us. You can keep your elbows completely straight, or you could actually bend them a little bit. It will feel different if they're bent versus straight. So try a few with straight arms, try a few with bent arms. We'll do that about 3 or 4 more times. Don't forget to breathe. We'll do that one more time. Okay, good. And then you can either just lay that on your lap or set it down. You decide. We're going to shrug the shoulders up by the ears now, and then roll them down and back. And again, shrug and roll them down and back. One more time, shrug them down and back. All right, picking up the strap again. This is the one that I feel like it's like you're throwing a jacket or a shawl over your shoulder. So you're going to do one side at a time. So I'm throwing my shawl or my jacket over my shoulder this way, and then I circle around. And I keep going that way. I'm tossing that over my shoulder. Maybe I'm able to go all the way back behind me, maybe not. So again, your range is your range. You find what's working for you. Same thing on this one. It's going to feel different if your arms are straight. I'm showing you straight versus bent. So I'm keeping them bent right now. So maybe you try some with straight arms. Maybe you try some with bent elbows. Maybe one's working better for you. Maybe one's not working at all. Let's do a couple more this way. And then we'll try the other way. So the arms go the opposite direction and then circle around your head. Try some with the straighter arms. Try some with bent elbows. And of course, all the while, the pelvic floor is getting some work because we're sitting on that ball. Pelvic floor is part of our deep fascial line. And when there's tension in there, it sounds so crazy. This doesn't seem like they would be connected, but they are, can cause jaw, neck tension, which can lead to headaches, neck pain, jaw pain. One more time this way. So keeping that pelvic floor hydrated by doing this type of work is fantastic. All right, you can set that strap down. We're going to go ahead and stand up, remove the ball, and you're going to make your way over to your wall. We'll find a single yoga tune-up ball, your therapy ball, and we're going to be doing some work on the shoulders or the shoulder whole complex. We're going to actually start by the armpit. So find your armpit, slide it to the side. So I'm on the side here, and that's my lat, my latissimus dorsi. So if your arm is able to stay up or reach up, you'll reach it up. If it's not able to go completely straight up, you find a range that's okay for you. Maybe it's just slightly in front of you. But this is stretching that lat while we're doing the work. So as much as you can, reach the arm up. And we'll just do a little side to side motion. So I'm turning my body a little towards the wall, a little away from the wall, a little towards the wall. So what's happening is this is going back and forth across the lat. So we'll do that a few times, just back and forth while that arm is stretching up to whatever degree you can stretch it up there. And then let's try some up and down. So it's running right along that latissimus dorsi, along the part that connects to the armpit area on the side of the body. Couple more times, up and down, up and down. And then you can relax that arm down now. You could hold it or cross the shoulder, just let it dangle, whatever feels good for you. And then let's try some circles. So I can support my arm. It can be on my body somewhere, or it can just dangle. You decide what feels good for you. Make some circles one way and then the other way. Just keep checking in. Make sure you're getting an area that's getting your attention, but it's not causing you to freak out or have to hold your breath or grit your teeth. And then finding that spot that goes, oh, yeah, that's it. Stay there. And then with the palm facing away from the wall, we'll take the arm up and down. We'll do that a few times. So the thumb is pointing towards the ceiling. Pin that in there, and then you move the arm. Let's try the palm facing the wall, thumb down now. And up and down, up and down. Let's try palm facing the ceiling. And let's try palm facing the floor. Okay. Moving the ball now to the outer shoulder and pinning the ball against the wall there. So we're on the side of the shoulder. Now we can do the same types of things now. I'm moving side to side. My arm's just dangling down by my side now. So I'm turning towards the wall, turning away from the wall, towards the wall, away from the wall. I could try some up and down. I could try some of those circles. And of course, you could always just find stillness if that's a better choice for you. Just lean in and let the gravity and your own body weight do the work. And then we'll all pin the ball in a spot that feels like it's getting our attention again, and we'll do some of those arm movements. So palm faces away from the wall, thumb towards the ceiling, up and down with the arm. Let's try the other way. Palm facing the wall, thumb down, internal rotation. And let's try palm facing the ceiling. And if your ball moves around, just put it where you want it. Mine kind of adjusted itself. I just moved it. And let's try palm facing the floor. Okay. We've got one more area we're going to do on the right side. We're going to find the shoulder blade area. So it's to the right of my spine, not on top of my shoulder blade, but next to it. So probably the most challenging part of this is getting the ball there and not having it fall on the floor. So you can either put it on the wall and then try to get yourself there, or you can do what I'm doing, which is kind of reach up the back here, or you can go the other way. It might take a few tries, but do the best you can. And then once you find the spot, pin that in there. And then just a little side to side. It's not going to be big because we're not wanting to cross the spine. So just a little tiny like shimmy motion. And you might go, yeah, that's not really the spot. So you can maybe try another spot. Maybe you just walk yourself a little forward. That's going to bring the ball up. And a little shimmy side to side. Maybe you walk yourself closer. That's going to bring the ball down. So the ball will move depending on your distance. It will also change the amount of pressure. And then how about we try some up and down? So a little up and down. So it's running along the ridge of that scapula as well as along the edge of the spine. And again, as always, if it's better for you, just pin that ball and take some deep breaths. That's okay too. All right, finding a spot that feels like it's a good one for you and moving the arm across the body and then back over. So taking that arm across and take it over. You could try that a few times. Maybe you want to try some reaching over the head a few times. Maybe some circle like you're swimming. These are all just suggestions. Maybe you decide, I'm just going to stay here and breathe because that's what's best. You do you. Arm can be bent, arm can be straight. Okay, very good. So we will just set that ball down. And then what we're going to be doing now is turning the left side of the body towards the wall. So left side of the body towards the wall. And then from here, what you'll do is cross your left foot over. Oh gosh, maybe about 2 feet away from the wall, give or take. Everybody's going to be different on this. Your hand needs to be on the wall, left hand on the wall. And then we're going to be reaching the arm up as high as we can and then letting the body shift away. Notice I'm shifting my hips to the right as my arm reaches up and over towards the wall. So I'm getting a big stretch on the right side of the body. So make sure your left side of your body is facing the wall. And I've got my hand, oh gosh, about chest level on the one that's on the wall. And then I'm reaching up and over. Maybe my hand actually touches the wall, maybe it doesn't. And if that doesn't feel okay on your shoulder, you could put your hand behind your head. That's another option. So letting the hips move away from the wall and you're lifting up and over. You want to make sure you're not just dumping over to the left. We'll come out of that for a moment, leave the feet. And then we're going to start off exactly the same, but we're going to shift the reach. So reach it up and over just like before, but then slightly rotate towards the wall. Maybe your right hand reaches the wall, maybe it doesn't. Now, if for any reason the crossing of the legs isn't working for you, maybe the balance isn't there, if it's bothering your knee, then you could do this with the legs not crossed. It just does a little added work on the side of the body, on the outer hip, if the feet are crossed. So if it's not working for you, you'll still get some great work if you uncross the feet. So here's the feet crossed. Here's the feet not crossed. So you can try it without crossing the feet if it's better. Remember, you're reaching up and over and slightly rotating. So my chest is almost facing the ground now. Couple more big breaths. And again, if it doesn't work to have the arms straight, put your hand behind your head. Okay. And we lift up and out of that. All right. Finding your ball, and we'll take the ball, find your armpit, slide it to the side. So we're finding the latissimus dorsi on the left side now. And as much as you're able, that left arm is reaching up. If it can't go straight up, it just goes where it goes. Maybe it's a little bit of a diagonal, right? So we're going to do a little turn side to side here. So the reason we're reaching the arm as much as possible is it creates a stretch here, and we're trying to do some work here while the lat is on stretch. That's the reason we're reaching the arm to whatever degree it will reach. Let's try some up and down. Keep breathing. And then you can start to relax that arm down, and maybe you maybe you support the arm, take it across the body and lay it on the shoulder. Maybe it just dangles, but you're going to make some circles now with the body. So that's drawing circles on that lat area now with the arm relaxed. So it's not reaching anymore. Circle each direction a few times. And if it moves to a location you didn't mean to have it, just fix it. Happens a lot. The ball can have a mind of its own. And then finding a place that's getting your attention. And then the palm is facing away from the wall, thumb points towards the ceiling, and we move the arm up and down. Let's try palm facing the wall, internally rotating the arm. Let's try palm facing the ceiling. And let's try palm facing the floor. And again, if you feel like you'd rather just be still, then you just find stillness, lean in and breathe. You've got a couple more breaths. Maybe you return to something that was working for you. I'm going to do a few more circles. And then we move the arm or move the ball to the outside of the arm on the shoulder and lean it in. From here, we do some of those side to side movements. The ball travels back and forth across the medial deltoid, the middle shoulder. Let's try some up and down. Maybe some circles. And pinning that ball where it feels like it's doing something for you. The arm moves up and down, palm facing away from the wall, thumb points towards the ceiling. Let's turn the palm so that the thumb is pointing down. Let's try palm up. And let's try palm down. Okay. Then we find that spot on the left side next to the shoulder blade. So this is the hardest part, is getting it there. So finding a spot that's getting your attention, and then just a little shimmy. It's not big, so it's going to stay pretty much in between the shoulder blade and the spine. A little side to side. You could let it come a little higher by moving down. And then maybe you get a little closer to the wall, stand up a little more. The ball will move down. And then let's try some up and down, up and down. And then you hopefully can find a spot that says, okay, yeah, that gets my attention. Find that spot and then start to do some arm movements. You could take your arm back and forth across the body. You could try some sweeping the arm up and down. Maybe some swimming kind of motion with the arm forwards, a little backwards, probably with a bent elbow so you don't run into the wall. You have a couple more breaths. You could just be still, or if the movement's working for you, you move. Okay, good. And we'll set that ball down. So now we're going to have our right hip facing the wall. And then remember, you can cross the feet. If the crossed feet is not working, you uncross them. So from here, again, I'm about 2 feet away from the wall. If you're taller than me, you're probably going to be farther away. The hips shift to the left, reach the left arm way up and then over. So we're really trying not to dump to the right. We're thinking of lengthening up and over like you're lifting up and over a barrel or something. Length. And if that straight arm's not working, you could try a bent elbow, hand behind the head. Ideally feeling something all through the side. And if the legs are crossed, you're going to feel more in this outer hip as well. If it's not working for your balance or it's not working because your knees don't like it, just uncross the feet. You'll just put them next to each other. Lift up and out. Take a breath. We're going to do that one more time, but angle our body this time. So let's reach it up, hips shift to the left. You're reaching up and over, but then rotate almost to chest facing the floor. Maybe your hand reaches the wall, maybe it doesn't. Remember, you could keep the hand behind the head if that's better for you as well. Breathe into the whole side body. And we lift up and out of that. Okay. Before we sit down, we're going to do one more thing standing. So the feet will be pretty wide, wider than hip width distance. So set your feet up like that. And then you're either putting your fists on your lower back or you can put your hands on your lower back. This is to support the lower back. I usually push in and down to do this. And then once you have that, you're going to let your hips shift forward. So we're not dumping into the lower back. The idea is to stretch the whole deep front line. So we go here, hips shift, and then very carefully lift the chin and chest. So you're bringing the head back. Remember, we're not dumping back. We're thinking of lengthening. I'm going to stop talking because if I want to feel the stretch in my neck, I need to close my mouth. And lift up and out of that. We're going to do it 2 more times. Take a breath. If you got dizzy, just wait until you're not dizzy anymore. And then again, support that back, hips shift forward, and then lift, widen the collarbones, and then lift the chin. And bring it up. Good. Again, wait till you're not dizzy. If you got dizzy, just take a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, one more time, same exact thing, nothing different. Maybe you're able to go a little deeper. Hips come forward and then very gently lift the chin up. And coming out of that. Okay, good. We're going to sit on our chair and do one more thing here, a series of things here for the shoulders. So the hands will come behind the lower back again, and the backs of the hands are on your back. We're going to bring the elbows forward and then squeeze them back. You'll need to sit kind of forward on your seat if you've got a seat back so you don't run into your seat back. And then elbows forward, internally rotating, and then squeeze the shoulders back and do it again. Elbows move forward, elbows move back. Couple more times. And one more time. Good. Let that relax. So some of you have done this with me before, and I'll just show you how it goes. This is a really deep internal rotation stretch. If you're doing it with the legs, uh, bending forward, you're going to separate your legs. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to do this one arm at a time. We'll start with the right arm just because. So the right hand comes behind your lower back, just like you did. So we're not doing the left side. Bring that elbow forward. Now that might be it for you. You're just going to hold that there. You could even assist a little bit by grabbing that possibly. Maybe you can reach across and pull that elbow forward. The more extreme version of this, and it's pretty extreme. So if it doesn't work for you, don't worry. It doesn't work for a lot of people. This version is fine. But if you're able, you'll bring that elbow inside the thigh. So now the leg is doing the work for me. And then I can squeeze my knee against that, and it's going to give it more of a stretch. That is a lot. Don't worry if you can't do it. This is fine. Just holding this is fine. Taking it with anywhere on your arm and pulling it a little forward if you want a little more is plenty. If you're like, yeah, I could still do more, then maybe you try dropping that elbow down in between your legs and then squeeze that knee against there. And then we'll stay here for 5 big breaths. And then lift up and out of that. All right, we're going to release that arm, whatever you did with it, whatever you're doing, just release that. So we did have that wrist kind of bending backwards if you had your hand on your back like that. So we're going to go the opposite way now. So reach the palm away from you, fingers point down towards the ground. We're going to release the wrist in the opposite direction from where we just had it. You could move that hand back and forth if that felt good for you. And then keeping with what you're doing, but you're going to pull one finger at a time. So I'm just pulling my pointer finger, just going to be still now with my movement. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move my wrist or my arm. Let's try the middle finger. So one finger at a time. And then just walk it to the ring finger. And then the pinky. And then we'll reach around and grab the thumb. So I'm going to grab it like this. Okay, let's let all of that go. So we've got a second side, hand behind the back like this. And then basic version, just bring that elbow forward to whatever degree it will go. Some of you might be able to reach around, grab the elbow or someplace on that arm and assist that stretch. And then some of you, and remember, if it doesn't work, don't worry. Some of you will be able to bring your elbow inside your thigh, and then you'll encourage more by bringing that knee inward. And I'm just using my other hand on my other thigh or knee to support me here. 3 more big breaths. And very carefully we come up and out. Shake it out. All right, again, that wrist is bending backwards like this. We're going to do the opposite. So fingers point towards the ground, palm faces away from you. Pull on all those fingers, maybe a little side to side movement. And let's do one finger at a time. So just the pointer finger. And walk it over to the middle finger. And walk it over to the ring finger. Walk it over to the pinky. And then we'll get the thumb. I'm reaching under and grabbing it and pulling it down. Okay, good. Shake that out. All right, we are coming to the floor. You're going to find your Pilates ball again. And we're going to be laying on our right side on that Pilates ball. You may want a block under your head. I like that. Feels good for my neck. So placing that ball under your right rib cage, pretty much in the middle. So not high, not low, but somewhere right in the middle. And then we'll take some really big breaths. Maybe pausing at the top. And then pausing at the bottom. Pausing at the top, big breath. You can breathe into your ribs. I'm putting my hand up here to see if I'm breathing wide and fully into my rib cage. And let that ball sink into your side body. Good. And then from here, let your top left knee come forward. Bottom right leg extends out. So I'm still on my side. And then if it feels okay, reaching that left arm up and over the ear, getting a nice stretch through the side body. Keep with those deep breaths. And then start to make circles with this left arm. Doesn't matter which way, you'll go both ways. So pick a direction, 3 or 4 that way, and then you'll switch directions. One more. Good. And then bending that bottom right knee will come forward. And then the top left leg extends. And once again, perhaps that arm reaches long over your ear. If that feels good for you, if it doesn't, you could bend your elbow and take the hand behind your back or behind your head. Or if that none of that's working, you just keep your hand on your body relaxed. Once again, breathing deeply. One more big breath. And we start to make our way out of that. Lifting up and off of the ball. Now you can use your block for this, but if that's too much, you'll find a foam roller instead or lay a towel on your block. Laying your armpit area on your block as best you can. That arm is reaching straight up, so long the same range as my ear. If that's not possible, you take it where you take it, right? You're going to get as close to that as you can. Top left hand behind your ear. Make sure you're forward on the block or in the middle at least, or in your roller, so you don't roll off the block when you lean back. So if you fall off the block, you know you need to move, right? So be careful. Rolling front to back, front to back. If you're not feeling it, you need to adjust where the block or the roller is on your body. And the same thing if you're feeling too much. And then try bending that right elbow so that both hands are behind your head, and see what you think with the elbows bent. Now, that can be too much for some of us. And if it is, just go ahead and put that arm back down on the ground. It's typically a little bit more intense. So start to take note where you might want to stay for a few breaths. That's usually the spot that needs it the most. And when you find that spot, you'll stay. I'm just going to relax my head on my hand of this one that's on the elbow that's on the ground. So it's my right hand holding my head. I'm right in the middle. Some of you might be more forward, some of you might be more leaned back. Right in the middle is where I feel like I need it. And again, I'm just supporting my head. I still have pressure on that block. And if I'm taking too much pressure off, I just adjust where my hand is. I just want to make sure my head is supported so I don't have to hold my neck here. So maybe I'm going to move my hand so it's in a little different position. So I'm still supporting, but I'm still getting the pressure that I want underneath me. And a couple more breaths. Okay. We make our way off of the block, turn around or flip over. We'll place the Pilates ball under the left rib cage now. pretty much right in the middle. I like a block for my head. That's just a choice. Take it or leave it. We'll start with knees bent and some deep breaths. Feel the ribs expand as you breathe in. Feel that Pilates ball sink into your body as you breathe out. Let's do a couple more. And then we start to bring the right knee forward and that bottom left leg extends. Right arm perhaps drapes up and over the ear. If that doesn't work, you could bend the elbow and place it behind your head. Couple big breaths. And then we start to make circles with the right arm. Doesn't matter which way. Remember, we'll go both ways. So 3 or 4 one way, and then 3 or 4 the other way. Begin to rebend that bottom leg and switch them. Left leg is bent in front of you. Right leg extends, arm drapes up and over the ear, or maybe you keep it bent if that's better for you. 5 big breaths. Getting as long as you can through the side body. I'm reaching my leg. I'm getting some extra length through that leg. After your 5th breath, start to rebend the top leg. Carefully lift up and off of your ball. And either a Pilates, or excuse me, a yoga block or a foam roller. You'll lay your armpits on there as best you can. The arm is reaching long along the same plane as your ear. If you can't go all the way there, then you go where you go. Top arm comes behind the head. And we roll front to back. Remember, don't fall off the back of your block. So adjust yourself so that's not going to happen. And adjust yourself so that you're feeling what you want to feel. So maybe the block needs to go up, maybe it needs to go down. If it's too much, use a foam roller or put a towel between you and the block. You could try both hands behind the head, so elbows are both bent. That can be a lot. It may or may not work for you. Now, while you move, start to check in and notice where you need this the most. It might be the same as the other side. It might be different. So let's see. For me, I think I need to be a little more back on this one. So I'm going to find that spot. And then I'm going to just support my head. I'm going to remove this right arm now. And I'm using my left hand to support my head in some way. My elbow is on the ground. And you can do too much support and then you're not going to feel anything. So don't do that. But you could also get not enough support and it's too much. So find the right amount. I'm moving my hand around on my head. So I'm still supporting, but I'm still getting the right amount of pressure for me on this. And then I'm just going to breathe. Maybe I close my eyes. Couple more big breaths. Okay. Releasing the arm, coming off of the block. And lay yourself down on your back. Press up into a bridge, slide the block under your tailbone. And then start to walk your legs out. They will be as wide as your mat. So they're definitely wider than your hips. And if it doesn't feel good in your back, then you might need to move the block a little bit down. And I've got it on the flattest setting. Some of you will be that, and some of you will be one more notch up than that, and that would be the middle setting. So find the right amount of stretch for you. So you're feeling the front line more so than anything in the back body. Once you have that, you could try reaching your arms long overhead. And you can just stay right there. If you wanted to arc this over a little bit, you could grab a wrist. I'm going to grab my left wrist and take it over to the right and see if I like that. So I'm getting a stretch through my side body. If you are doing the side bend, try the other side. And then coming back to center, take your arms down by your sides, but leave the legs. And then closing the eyes, we're going to repeat the side eye gaze without the eyes open this time. So with your eyes closed, keep your nose up towards the ceiling. Just your eyeballs go to the left. Keep your eyeballs over to the left. And then if you'd like, you can turn your head to the left and stay there for a couple of breaths. Come back to center, take a breath in, let it go. Nose stays forward, eyes only to the right. And then perhaps you turn your head to the right as well. Keep breathing. Bring your head back to center, eyes back to center. Eyes are closed. Draw a circle all the way around with your eyeballs one way, and then the other way. And then like you're cross-eyed this time, one last bit, like you're looking at your nose. Again, eyes can be closed. If that's not comfortable, they can be open. Like you're cross-eyed looking at your nose. Release that. Take a breath. Let it go. Bend your knees. Carefully come off of your block. If you need a windshield wiper a few times with the knees, you're welcome to do that. Eventually, you'll find your final rest. Legs can extend, or if it feels better for them to be bent, that's fine. Take one last big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let everything go. Let your body melt into the earth. Feel completely supported in every way. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Namaste.